Good day, you're watching Satluj News. I'm Angus Scott in London. The modern age is increasingly defined by a deluge of information, but more controversially, by a growing wave of disinformation. Public opinion across the world is influenced daily by what they see, hear and read. And disinformation is increasingly being used as a powerful weapon across the world to influence public opinion. This is none more so than the increasing tide of disinformation being used against minority communities, particularly in India. In 2020, a European research organisation uncovered a huge network of 750 fake media outlets across 119 countries. That, over a 15-year period, has spread material not only promoting India's foreign affairs objectives, but more sinisterly targeting non-Hindu communities with disinformation, designed to turn public opinion against them. A similar network was discovered just last year by researchers at the Stanford Internet Observatory in the US, including over 1,100 bot accounts purporting to be Kashmiri users publishing pro-Indian army propaganda, as well as material with a more controversial agenda designed to influence public opinion. So, as the problem persists, its impact is increasingly being felt by minority groups across the world. Locally in Delhi, for example, in the February 2020 pogrom alone, 53 Muslims were killed by Hindu mobs. This happened immediately after a 300% spike in inflammatory postings across social media, specifically targeting Muslims. The largest obstacle in combating such operations is the extremely difficult task in identifying parties behind such campaigns, as by their nature they tend to be fronted by an army of anonymous online foot soldiers. Accusations have often been levelled against the ruling party in India, the BJP. Here in the West, it isn't widely known that the BJP are the political arm of the RSS, a right-wing Hindu nationalist group created in the 1920s. It's claimed that the RSS provide the doctrinal foundation for the BJP's political agenda, which of course in turn implies a particular focus of the party in furthering Hindu interests across India and the world at the expense of minority communities. Although Western nations on the whole have deliberately avoided interfering or even criticising the governing of the world's largest democracy, concern has been raised by several influential bodies across Europe and the US. Last year, the US Commission on International Religious Freedom flagged India as a nation where religious freedom is being consistently and severely violated. Likewise, the US State Department's recent human rights report also flagged up India's rapidly deteriorating situation, particularly relating to attacks on minorities across the country. Even Indian mainstream media isn't immune to criticism, with the country's press ranking a lowly 150th in the RSF Press Freedom Index. So it's clear a problem does persist, a problem that has even provoked a highly influential research body to recently label India as an electoral autocracy. However, in a world where India is seen as one of the largest potential trading partners for many nations looking to improve relations, it's difficult for Western governments to openly criticise the governance of India without jeopardising any future trade talks. And of course, this makes it all the more harder for those campaigning to improve the protection and rights of minority communities to get their voices heard. Particularly when, in India, the BJP enjoys widespread support across the nation from its more than 180 million members. And so it's left to a small army of campaigners through online blogs, independent news outlets, and targeted campaigns to counter the growing tide of harmful disinformation and bring the truth to people not just across India, but the wider world. Despite concerted and aggressive campaigns to close these outlets down and silence dissenting voices, the internet is proving to be the ultimate platform of democratic power. And the evidence is that viewers are increasingly becoming more critical in what they choose to believe or otherwise in the propaganda war. Until next time, you've been watching Satluj News. I'm Angus Scott in London.